Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. We are waiting for our first participant, which happens to be Professor Kenneth from Switzerland. Hi, Professor.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Started teaching again yesterday.
I see.
But I have no questions at the moment, Ajahn, so
Okay.
Please carry on.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank
Next,
you, Ajahn.
Kokseng from Singapore.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn. This evening, I have a few questions like to seek Ajahn advice. Okay, let me refer to the notes I've written. Okay, the first one about sati. Lord Buddha has last few days when I was meditating, this analogy comes to my mind. So I just want to make sure that I understand this teaching by Lord Buddha very clearly. He used the analogy of of a man holding a bowl of oil filled full to the brim and then walking through a crowd of people cheering and clapping to a very beautiful lady who is singing and I think doing some kind of performance. And over here, the catch here is that there's a man walking behind him carrying a raised sword, and if he were to spill a drop of oil, his head would be chopped off. So my question is, what is the message that Lord Buddha is trying to teach us using this analogy? And how do we use or how do we apply this teaching by the Lord Buddha to our present modern context?
You have to focus on what you do. That's what he means. Never slip away, because if you carry something that can hurt somebody, if you're not watching, you can cause problem if you're not focused on what you're supposed to be doing. So stay focused on everything that you do.
Okay. And the raised sword and the man carrying a raised sword seems to be a very tall order, and then walking through a crowd, and then with the bowl filled full to the brim seems to be a quite a difficult challenge to so-called to perform.
That's what mindfulness is. If you find it difficult, then that's your problem. See? If you find it no problem, you probably become enlightened by now.
But why with a sword? I mean, if we are not mindful enough, our head will be chopped off.
That's right. If you're not mindful enough, if you walk in the forest, you might step on a snake or something.
Okay, I see. Okay. Then I understood that if we are walking, it will be similar to walking in the forest, and if we are not mindful,
be very careful. What it means is to be very careful with every step, with every movement of your body.
Okay. Okay. Then my second question is about sila. Okay, regarding the first precept, no killing, my main challenge is still my experience with ants during the cooking process in the kitchen. So sometimes before I start putting the chopping board on the preparation area, I will tell the ants quickly leave the sink area, quickly leave the stove area, quickly leave the preparation area because it's dangerous for your own safety. Leave now. So I'm saying this something like disclaimer to make myself feel better in case if I accidentally use a cloth and then swap on the ends and so on. So I'm just thinking whether this kind of so-called decoration to the ends, does it actually helps?
Help what? Help to lessen the karma?
Okay, because I try my best when for example, let's say before I put down a chopping board and the ants is on the way, I will try to blow them away, and then sometimes I will use paper to scoop up the ants and so on. But I think the main challenge will be when I'm using the tablecloth. Sometimes I clean it too fast, so sometimes then by the time I clean, the ants is I may have so-called along the swab. I also soak up the ants also with the tablecloth, with the kitchen cloth.
It just depends on how serious you want to keep the precept, that's all.
Mm.
If you want to keep the precept, then just move away and go to someplace else where there are no ants.
But that is the only preparation area that I have in the kitchen. So in the case of,
somehow you just have to make it to prevent the ants from going in there. If you see them, then you can remove them first.
Yes, I will usually try to blow them away or use a paper to scoop them up and then put them inside the garbage bag.
Okay.
And then Praja, I need need to make a confession. Regarding the 7 precept, the entertainments, I must make a confession. Sometimes I'm still struggling with it. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. So I just want to.
You have to confess to yourself, not to me. You're the one who's going to have to pay for what you do, not me. So I'm not the one who gives you the punishment. It's you yourself will get the punishment from you yourself. That's the law of karma.
Even I may not have taken the so-called the 8 precepts formally, but I try my best to keep the 8 precepts. So this number 7 is one of them, which I'm struggle a lot with.
It means you cannot overcome your hindrance to your practice yet.
So I'm just thinking, should I just keep the 5 precepts and then or maybe just 5 and then plus some of the others and then and not keeping all the 8 precepts.
Yes, you can choose. It's an a la carte menu, It's not all or not. You can choose according to your strength, your ability. Right now, you cannot keep a certain precept, then you just say, I have to leave this precept alone first. But you have to be willing to pay the price for not keeping the precept, though.
Sorry, Prajan, may I know what is the price that
because you won't be able to meditate if you keep watching YouTube. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. You want meditation, but you also want to watch YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, I understand now. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Prajan.
You're welcome. Next, Alvin from Malaysia.
Namaskar, Ajahn. I don't have any question, but my daughter has got a few questions. I'll just let her ask, Ajahn. Is that okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. It's Megan here.
Hi, good evening, Ajahn.
Ajahn, can you see? Okay.
Good evening. Good evening,
How are you?
Ajahn.
What's your name?
I'm
What's
good.
your
I'm
name?
Megan. I'm Megan.
Okay.
Megan. And like I have a few questions because one of them is like because I usually do overthink a lot and like I have a lot of fears because of like fears like I'm scared of a lot of things and like what do you think that I can like do to face?
You have to figure out what is causing you to be afraid of. What are you afraid of? You have to know the answer first before you can overcome your fear.
But like sometimes I'm like scared of things, but like I have no reason. Like I'm just scared of them.
Well, if you cannot know the reason, then how can you overcome your fear?
Like I do fear of animals a lot, and
You're afraid of animals.
yeah, and spirits and many things like
Have you
like a lot.
have you ever seen any spirit before?
No,
Okay, so it's just in your imagination.
yeah, just scared.
Just tell them there's no spirit that will come and haunt you or cause you any danger.
Because
The real spirit, they mind their own business. They have their own karma to attend to.
thank you, Ajahn.
So there's no need to be afraid of any spirit.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you, Ajahn.
What else?
Nothing else. That's all for today.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Thanks, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Marco from the Netherlands. Hi, Mark.
Hi, John.
What can I do for you today?
Many questions again, Ajahn.
Go ahead.
So first of all, there was a situation at work where in the past I used to be very friendly to my colleagues and very bubbly, chatty. And I've stopped doing that because it's basically not my mindset anymore at this point in time. And funny enough, the other day, a colleague came to me and was asking, what's wrong? Why are you not happy? Why are you so stressed? And funny enough, I actually don't feel stressed now. I actually feel quite peaceful. So I thought it was interesting to see that people perceive you in one way while you're actually feeling another. And I'm realizing that's actually how the Defilements illusion works, that you see one thing, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that that's the case. And I was surprised by that. But I'm wondering, is it normal to feel like that? Because I don't watch TV anymore. I don't watch any news anymore. I don't listen to music, and I'm not missing it at all. I'm starting to feel better. My meditation is going better. My walking meditation is going better. I feel more dispassion towards the rest.
Well, it's normal for you, but it's abnormal to other people because they haven't had the same experience that you are having. For them, they have to have this sensual pleasure bombardment. And now suddenly you don't need this sensual pleasure to keep you happy. So people are just wondering what happened to you. You can just tell them the truth that now you're happier being alone.
Yeah, that's very funny to say in this day and age, because people start really looking at you as if you're crazy because they don't understand that you're not watching anything or listening to anything. But yeah, it's something that I actually like to have more distance now between people. There was a session today that we had, and in the old days I would have been very motivated by this meeting where they were talking about career advancement and things like that. And the only thing I was thinking in my head is, oh, there's so much suffering. and I don't really feel the need. I don't feel extra motivated. I just feel like, well, I have to work to make a living, to support my family, and that's the objective. And then other than that, I do my own thing to progress and to try to let go. And I think it's difficult, but I think it's the right thing to do.
But your interaction with people will still have to be based on loving kindness, no? If you have
Yeah.
to meet people, communicate with them, you do it with loving kindness. You don't just brush them off and say, "No, I want to be alone. Leave me alone," or something like this. This would be unkind for you.
Yeah, so and the problem is that I'm afraid that if I don't try to do it that way, it's kind of like finding the middle, right? So I tend to go too far. In the past, I was way too friendly to people, and I created the wrong situations, and I also got into communication, which is not professional anymore. And I try to stay away from that. So it's a very tricky road to be in, and that's why I try to be mindful of all the communication I do, but I won't actively pursue it. If somebody says or asks me something, I ask, how can I help you? And I will help. So I do try to do it like that, but I'm not overdoing it. At least I'm trying not to overdo it and try to stay clear with my motivation and not going into too much communication on things that I don't like, because I think it goes against what I pursue now. And I think is that wrong? It's still loving kindness in a different way, right? That doesn't mean I have to be super friendly or overly friendly.
You just do whatever is required of you to do. And anything more than that, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You might say, "Hello, how are you? Everything's fine, okay." Then you can excuse yourself, I have something to do.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. So even if I would say that, so the hello, how are you? I'm noticing that now because I'm seriously focusing on the fourth precept, that I'm struggling to actually get in that conversation because I don't want to be honest. Well, how do you feel? Well, actually, my feet hurt because I was doing so much walking meditation. So I don't want to say that. I don't want to, but at the same time, I don't want to be dishonest. So I kind of try to avoid the situation.
No, you don't need to tell them everything.
No.
If you find that they find it, and then if they don't understand it, then it's better not to tell them, because you will have to explain to them, and the more you explain to them, the more they would not understand. It's
Yeah.
better just to, just don't mention it.
Just superficial. Yeah. Yeah, there was a situation where a colleague of mine was explaining about a case of suicide somewhere close by, a close relative, and I was observing and contemplating my thoughts towards that situation, and I was hearing that the person got very was elderly already and was having difficulties with not being mobile, and I was realizing that that's what happens. You get old age, sickness, and death, and I also realized that when somebody takes their own life, that you see the people around that they actually blame that person for taking the person's own life, but it's not really loving kindness, right? Because you should feel sorry for the person also, because they're actually making things way worse by taking their own lives.
Yes, because they lack the wisdom to see that killing, regardless of who you kill, is bad for you. Doesn't solve any problem.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm noticing too. And the other thing is that I'm noticing that my inward focus is working well. At least I'm experiencing better rest and more. I'm actually able not to get drowsy now when I'm doing my meditation. I'm remaining aware. I do notice that I'm very. I wouldn't like to say eager, but I'm getting good sensations while I'm doing the meditation. But at the same time, I'm trying to keep in mind, like, well, let's just focus on the breathing. Go back to the breathing. Do you have suggestions on when you have the feeling that you get too eager to get those good sensations while meditating, to how to go get away from that? Or
Just
at least
ignore it. Just ignore it and just concentrate on your breathing.
to stay at the
Yeah.
breath
Think of it
constantly.
as a distraction. That's all. Just stay focused on your breath only, regardless of whatever feeling or thoughts might come up. Don't entertain them. Don't try to react to them. Just remain focused on your meditation object only.
Yeah.
Then
Thank you,
everything
Ajahn.
then they will go away eventually.
Yeah, I think that it's also that because I like the feeling that I'm getting, that I'm also, because I like it, maybe I don't like that feeling goes away too. but still the focus on the breath is more important, because otherwise it's going to hold me back, right? It's not going to help me advance.
That's right, because your focus on your breath will lead you to better feelings eventually.
Yeah.
Lead you to contentment, to peace and contentment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
yeah,
anything
so
else?
last week you were saying like, well, it's better to do the 8 precepts always. So I've been contemplating that. So right now I'm doing 2 days at a time, the 8 precepts.
Mhm.
But I realized that I miss my wife too much to go for 8 precepts. So I'm working towards that. At this point in time, that's kind of difficult. Also, when I see my son, I want to give him a hug every now and then. When I do 8 precepts, I don't touch anybody, so I don't do it then. And I notice that then it's more difficult. But at the same time, there's this feeling inside that wants me to actually follow the 8 precepts. So it's something that I'm working towards. And the other thing that I have is I'm noticing that because I've had a lot of discussions with my wife about the way that I was in public and how I was having wandering eyes, etc., and doing the bad things towards her and not being actually coming up for her. I'm noticing that I'm also trying to stay away from situations in public where I have to come up for my wife, as sort of see, so kind of defend her honor, if you will. And how do I get rid of that fear of doing it wrong? I don't know if I can make it clear, but it's like I'm afraid that I will hurt my wife if I don't do it correctly, which leads me to try to avoid a situation because I don't want to do it wrong, because I'm so eager to do correct and do properly.
Well, you just have to accept the consequence of your action, whatever you do. Sometimes you're damned if you do something, sometimes you're damned if you're not doing anything. So what can you do? It's just a choice between should you be damned by not doing or should you be damned by doing the wrong thing.
So I take the beating from the tiger, basically. That's what it boils down to if that happens.
But don't be afraid. Okay, so you learn your lesson this way. See, if you don't
True.
try it, then how would you know whether you do it right or not?
Yeah, that's true.
As
That is
long as
true.
you don't have any ill will toward anybody based on your
No.
action. You know,
Mm.
your action is not based on ill will. It's always good intention, goodwill. But sometimes
Yeah.
goodwill can be be harmful or wrong when it's done improperly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So
That's
maybe
true.
sometimes just to leave people alone and don't react. Let things be.
That's a very good
Anatta,
advice.
everything is anatta, like the weather. It's gonna rain, let it rain. Don't try to stop the rain from raining.
No, that's true. And if I look back at my old self, that I actually used anatta actually in the wrong sense, where I was saying, oh, it's not self, so it's not me doing it wrong, right? So, and that's wrong as
Mhm.
well. So I should use anatta in the wrong way.
Anatta is when you don't want to do any action. Then say, leave it to anatta.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. What else?
Well, so the other one is like whenever there's a situation where you have a confrontation with harsh words, what's the best way to proceed besides the trying to remain quiet when that doesn't
Yeah.
work?
Look at all sounds like the natural sound of the nature, sound of the wind blowing. It's wind blowing, that's all that you're listening to. But you try to interpret the meaning behind the wind, the sound.
I
So
I think I
sometimes
understand
go
what you mean.
look at the raw truth. The raw truth is just wind blowing, sound wind blowing, that's all. And you cannot stop this wind from blowing. They can blow loud, okay, they can blow soft, they can blow mean, or they can blow kind. Just treat it like nature.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. That's a good one.
You cannot change, you cannot force it to blow in a certain way.
No, that's true. That's true. And that the forcing is something that I've been trying to work on hard as well. Just last week you were very rightfully saying about not being obsessed about destroying the ego. And I've been trying to put that aside and really letting the past be the past and
Because the
noticing
one
that.
who's obsessed is the ego itself.
It also goes that
So you
it's
won't
such a
get rid
paradox.
of your ego that way. You
So I
get rid
keep
of
it
your
there,
ego
right?
by
I just keep it
you
existing.
just stay put, stay in action. That's when you can stop the ego.
Yeah,
When you not do anything, then there's no actor, right?
correct. Correct.
Okay.
Thanks, Ajahn.
Okay, is that all?
Yes, thanks,
All
Ajahn.
right, you're welcome. Next, Gex Yenso from Penang.
Ajahn, good evening. Ajahn, I have one question related to pouring water, transferring merit. So is transferring merit is for those passed away or also included the living beings?
No, it's for the departed, because they
Oh.
cannot get any help from you, but the only thing they can get or accept is the merit that you do. With people who are still alive, you can just give them the money, give them the gift, the food or whatever they need. But with the spirit, you cannot send money to them, you cannot send food, clothing to them. So you have to do charity instead, and then transfer the merit from charity to them.
Okay, yeah. Noted.
Right.
Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah.
Okay. Next, Lynn from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I want to ask about meditation that lead to vipassana. I'm not sure on how to do that correctly. Can Ajahn please advise me?
Well, meditation practice consists of two stages. The first stage is to meditate for calm, for equanimity. We have to use mindfulness fixed on a certain meditation object, such as the mantra Bhutto or watching your breath, to stop the mind from thinking, to make it to become still. When it becomes still, the mind will become peaceful and contented and happy. So this is the first step. You want to prepare your mind before you can go to the next step, which is wisdom or vipassana. So when your mind becomes calm and clear and peaceful, you can look at things objectively without the influence of your delusion, such as your defilement, such as greed, hate, or delusion. So you'll be able to see things clearly as they are, such as looking at the nature of your body, to see that it is anicca, impermanent, subjected to aging, sickness, and death. Normally, if your mind is not calm and contented, you don't want to look at this thing, because your defilement, despite the truth, your defilement don't want to see the truth. So you will not be able to use the truth to educate your mind, to teach your mind the truth. So this is what happened. First, you need to develop equanimity, peace, and contentment in your mind. And after you have that, when you come out of meditation, then you can start studying the nature of your body, or the nature of anything that you possess, for instance. They are all impermanent. One day you're gonna lose it, or you're gonna leave you, or you're gonna leave it. But the truth is you will not be together forever. Whatever you have, money, houses, anything, people, everything is impermanent. If you attach them, you can get dukkha. You can get suffering, because you cannot stop this process. It's a natural process. It's anatta. So you have to see the three characteristics in order to gain wisdom, so that you can then let go of your attachment or craving toward things and people.
So,
this is vipassana.
So can I say that the three characteristics are the meditation object in vipassana?
Yes, they are the nature of things that you have to see clearly. Like your body is anicca, it rises and in one day will cease. And this is the nature of things. Everything rises and eventually ceases, sooner or later.
So
And nothing can stop this process. If you want to stop, you get dukkha. If you don't want it to happen to you, you get dukkha. If you don't want to die, if you cannot accept death, then you get dukkha when death arises, when death comes to you.
So if we do samatha meditation practice, we need to sit down and do the meditation practice. But for vipassana, we still need to do the sitting meditation also.
Because if you don't have samatha, your mind will be restless, agitated, and will not want to see the truth, and don't want to accept the truth. Can you accept the truth now of death, that your body is gonna die?
Sometimes.
That your mother and father is gonna die? If you have samatha, you have calm and equanimity, then you can accept it. If you don't have equanimity, your defilement will react instead. It will not want to accept the truth. So before you can go to vipassana, you first have to develop a strong, contented mind first, with equanimity, peace, and happiness within yourself. Then you can let go of your dependence on other people or things to make you happy. See? Right now, you're not happy inside. You don't have anything to make you happy within yourself. So you rely on other people and things to make you happy. So if you rely on them, then you want them to stay with you forever, because you know if you lose them, then you will become unhappy. But if you have samatha, you have peace of mind, you have contentment, then you can let go of things that you rely on to make you happy. You can be happy without them. So you first have to develop a strong, peaceful, contented mind first. By entering to jhana and staying there for a long time.
So does it mean it's the fourth jhana before we can do vipassana?
Yeah, you have to have fourth jhana, and when you're in the fourth jhana, you cannot do anything. You're just resting. You're just charging your equanimity, so that your mind can remain calm and peaceful without reacting to anything, whether you gain or loss. Once you have that, then when you come out, then you can start looking at the thing. What are you going to lose? Then when you start counting, you see everything. You're going to lose everything, but that's okay, because you're ready to accept that, because you can exist without them if you have equanimity. But if you don't have equanimity, you'll be relying for other things to make you happy. So when you count them and say, "Oh, this I have to lose this," then you will not want to accept it, because without it, then you cannot be happy. You will become sad. But then it's anatta. It's something that you cannot stop or prevent. It's a law of nature. Anatta means everything is under the law of nature. Everything comes and goes. Nothing lasts. Nothing stays with you forever. Even your body don't stay with you forever. Okay.
Still have a long way to go.
Well, at least you're starting. Look at the positive side. It doesn't matter how long the distance is. you always need to take the first step.
Thank you.
Actually, Avatar Samaya start with the first step. If you keep walking, eventually you get to your destination, regardless how far it is. If you don't stop walking. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ajahn. Thank you.
Welcome. Next, Samanji from Sri Lanka. Okay, any question tonight? How many?
I have about 6 questions, Ajahn.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Ajahn, you recently mentioned that meditation is also kind of craving. Does it mean that we should not get attached to the idea of meditation? Or does it mean that we should be able to feel happy even without meditation?
When you first started, you need meditation to make you happy. You need it as a tool, not the product that you want to have forever. Why? Because even meditation, the result of meditation is temporary. It's anicca also. But you need it to be able to first get rid of your sensual pleasure cravings. You need to have something to replace the sensual pleasure, and the pleasure from meditation is better. See, so once you have the pleasure from meditation, then you can give up the sensual pleasure. You can stop watching YouTube. You can stop going on a holiday. You can stop eating or drinking or whatever, because you can be happy with meditation. But once you have got rid of your attachment to sensual pleasure, now you become attached to your meditation. And your meditation cannot give you permanent happiness. You can only get it when you meditate. When you come out of meditation, your mind can lose that peace and happiness. So when you don't have it, you can become unhappy. So the Buddha say, the only way to be happy is not to crave for anything, even for meditation, because it's the craving itself that makes you sad. So when you can stop this craving, then you can you can be happy without having anything.
Okay.
That's the next step after you have given up your sensual pleasure first. Then you have to get rid of your tool. It's like when you change a tire, you have to lift the wheel with a jack. But once you change the wheel, you want to remove the instrument that you use to change the wheel, the tire. It's the same way. Meditation is a tool to stop or get rid of your attachment to sensual pleasure. But once you have that, then you have to stop using the tool. Don't be attached to the tool.
Okay, Ajahn, thank you. My second question is, maybe 2 weeks back, Ajahn, I asked you whether we should help others. If you are in a position to do so, then you said we should help ourselves first before helping others. Does this apply to day-to-day living as well, or Ajahn? Does it mean that we should focus on our meditation practice first before guiding others?
Yes, before you can teach others, you have to know how to guide yourself first.
Okay.
If you're not yet successful in your meditation, then it's a waste of time trying to teach other people to meditate. Or you might be able just to give them a tip, like, okay, you want to meditate, just focus on your breath. But that's all about what you can tell them. Anything deeper, you will not be able to tell them. Because when you meditate, there are so many experiences, many things that can arise during meditation. If you don't know how to deal with them yet, how can you teach other people how to deal with them properly?
Okay. Okay. Okay, Ajahn. Maybe I asked you 2 weeks back whether we should help others if we are in a position to do so. What I really wanted to know was whether you meant this regarding meditation or whether you meant this regarding our day-to-day activities, in the sense whether we should help.
I think
we should
everything. If you can
everything.
help. If you can help, if you can make things better, do it.
We should help ourselves first.
But if you still need
Okay.
to have time, you need time to do work for yourself first, then you have to concentrate on your work first. Like if you're going to
Okay.
college, you have to concentrate on going to classes, not concentrating on other activities, you know.
Okay. And you're helping us. Okay, Tanajan. This is a friend of mine recently asked, she's not a Buddhist. She asked me how to observe the mind, because recently she had visited a Buddhist monastery where the chief monk had advised her to observe the mind to understand reality. So she asked me to explain it in detail because she's not quite familiar with that concept. So I told her that observing the mind means becoming aware of one's thoughts and emotions. Am I correct? Could you clarify what observing the mind means in Buddhism, Tanajan?
It is correct, but it's not practical because you're not really observing it. You cannot yet have you don't have the tool to observe your mind yet.
Okay.
What you need is strong mindfulness. The mindfulness that can get you to stop the mind from thinking.
Okay.
Then you can get the mind to jhana. Then you have the tool to watch your mind after that.
So the tool is mindfulness.
Yes, mindfulness.
Okay.
You must be able to stop your mind first before you can watch your mind. If you cannot stop your mind, you don't know what is your mind anyway.
Okay. So I should tell her as well.
Meditate, mindfulness, practice mindfulness first.
First, no?
Be mindful all day long from the time she gets up to the time she goes to sleep.
Okay. Then only we'll be,
Stay focused on the body activity.
Okay.
And then whenever she has time, sit down, meditate, and see if she can stop the mental activity entirely, stop the mind from thinking, and become still. Then she will start to see the mind when the mind becomes still. And when the mind starts to act, start to think, then you can watch the thought or the action of the mind to see whether it is going in the right or wrong direction.
Okay.
Without the tool, like right now, you cannot watch your mind or control your mind. If your mind think, if you want to go do something for your defilement, you cannot stop it.
Okay. I think we still don't have enough mindfulness. That's why we are not in a position to observe our mind.
That's right. So we need to first develop mindfulness. In the fourth foundation of mindfulness, what comes first? Mindfulness.
And Thanajan, in the fourth foundation of mindfulness, that emphasizes practicing mindfulness in 4 key areas: Kaya, Vedana, Chitta, and Dhamma.
No, that's not mindfulness. They are wisdom. First, mindfulness is just be mindful of your breathing when you're sitting in meditation, or be mindful of your body activity when you're not meditating. This is the practice of mindfulness. Once you have jhana, once you have equanimity, then you want to study the nature of body, feeling, and mind. That's vipassana. That's wisdom.
Okay. The fourth one, Thanajan, is mindfulness of Dhamma, right?
Just know what you have, what kind of Dhamma you have inside. Do you have mindfulness? Do you have wisdom? Do you have jhana? If you don't have, you have to develop them. That's all.
Okay. Okay, Thanajan, is walking meditation as important as sitting meditation?
It's a development of mindfulness. You don't sit all the time, so you change position. Your body have to change posture. But you want to maintain your practice of mindfulness, regardless of which position your body is in. But to make the mind to become perfectly still, you need to sit down. Because if your body is moving, it means your mind is still active. Because it's the mind that tells the body what to do. But if you want the mind to be inactive, to stop, then you have to put the body, sit down, put the body down, and not using the body to do anything. Then you can then still your mind. Otherwise, you will not be able to still your mind with other posture, or when the body is still moving around.
Okay, Tanajan. My next question is, Tanajan, how should a Buddhist layperson behave in society? Should he remain socially friendly as usual rather than trying to stay aloof in a detached manner? A
Well,
Buddhist layperson.
it depends on which level of practice you're in. If you're on the first level, you just keep the 5 precepts and do charity regularly, and then you can have practice loving kindness for Brahma Vihara to whoever you come into contact with.
Okay.
But if you want to go higher, then you have to have a different, like if you want to keep the 8 precepts, then you might have to segregate yourself from other people and go stay in the monastery, like go on a retreat, meditation retreat.
Okay. But at any stage, you have to maintain your compassion and loving kindness.
Yes, if you have to deal with people. If you have to deal with people.
Okay. Okay, Tanajan. Now, my next question is, given the law of karma, butchers in this birth are likely to be reborn as animals and get killed in their next birth, given the law of karma.
If you break the precept of killing, yes, you will
I mean,
have to pay
butchers in this, yes.
Whoever does it doesn't matter. If you do it with intention, then it's breaking the precept. But if you accidentally kill somebody without any intention, this is not breaking the precept. It's considered an accident.
Yeah. So butchers are doing it on a daily basis, so they're more likely to be reborn as an.
Yeah, because you're behaving like animals. Animals kill for survival, right? So you're a human being and you kill for your survival. So you're similar to being an animal. So when you die, you will probably be born as an animal.
Okay. Okay, Tanajan, this question is related to what a local Buddhist monk said recently. That particular monk said, mothers in the Asian context, in Asian countries, mothers are too attached to their children and also to their grandchildren, and mothers often cannot attain nirvana or become even sotapanna due to their over-attachment to their children or grandchildren, as I mentioned before. And the Thera also mentioned that it's the duty of the children to relieve their parents of responsibilities related to looking after their grandchildren so that they can lead a religious life. My question is, Tanajan, are children depriving their parents of their right to a religious life by making use of them to look after their grandchildren? Because this happens very often in Asian countries.
I don't think you can generalize this because different people have different, attachment, or defilement. So it's more in the defilement of each individual, how much they attach to people and things. If they're not attached, then they can do something that those who are attached to cannot do. Look at those in the Buddha's time. Buddha was living in India. There were so many women who became enlightened, became bhikkhuni. You have bhikkhuni in Sri Lanka before.
Yeah.
So it's not what you generalize. It's more.
But when they're
depend on the defilement of each individual, how much defilement they have or they don't have. The less defilement, then the more likely they can become ordained or practice meditation and become enlightened.
And also, is it okay to make use of their mothers to look after their children also? To look after grandchildren?
Well, it
depends.
It's just a mutual thing. If the mother wants to do it, okay. If she doesn't want to do it, don't
That's
impose
right.
on it, because it's your duty to look after your own children, right?
Okay. Okay, Thanajan, do I have the time? Can I ask one
Go ahead,
question?
go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
Thanajan, now you said that my understanding of this foundation of mindfulness is not quite correct. Could you explain a little bit more? What I said was the 4 foundations are Kaya, Vedana, Chitta, and Dhamma. And you said I have got it wrong. Could you?
Yeah, because the foundation of mindfulness is the mindfulness of the body and breathing. But the
Kaya
other
is
thing,
breathing.
yeah, the other thing is more of the study the nature of the body, feeling, and mind. And they are anicca, dukkha, anatta. This is vipassana. This is another level. But they all contained in this sutta. And so when they use the word foundation, the mindfulness, they thought everything is about mindfulness. No, it's not. First, you need to develop mindfulness. And you do this with the body. When the posture of the body, the activity of the body, you be mindful of that. Then you can get wisdom, you can get mindfulness. And then when you meditate, you sit down, meditate, you use the breath as your object of your meditation until you can enter into jhana. Once you have jhana, you have a strong mind to study the nature of the body first. Study anicca, the body is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. The body is made of the 4 elements. There's no self in the body, for instance. This is study the nature of the body. Study the anicca, dukkha, anatta nature of the body. And once you finish with this, then you go to the vedana, the feeling. And when you finish with the feeling, then you go to the nature of the mind.
Okay,
these are all wisdom, not mindfulness. This is the wisdom to see the true nature of the body, feeling, and the mind as being impermanent, as being subjected to suffering if you are attached to it, as being anatta, having no self in them.
Okay. Thank you so
All
much.
right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
all for today, Thanajan.
Okay.
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too.
Yeah, wish you good health and everything.
Yeah, thank you for your question. I think it can be useful for a lot of other people.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You will put it on your article.
Yes,
Okay,
I just shared it with your admin, this month's article.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any feedback from the readers?
Yes, that's one of the questions I asked you. Actually, she's following my interviews with you, and I told you about a non-Buddhist who asked me about the experience at a monastery. That's why I actually asked her to join your Zoom session as well. Don't know. I didn't see her today, but maybe in the future she will join. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So do you have good feedback from your
Yes.
articles?
Yeah.
Any bad feedback also?
No, actually. No, I once asked about this 4th jhana. One reader said you don't need the 4th jhana to achieve arhathood. It's not just a negative feedback. He just asked me. I think maybe 2-3 weeks back, I asked you that question. Therefore, you said the 4th jhana is a must to reach arhathood. Yes,
you need
samadhi.
samadhi.
Yes, yeah.
One of the 8 factors of enlightenment.
Yes, Thanajan, yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much,
You're
Thanajan.
welcome.
Nice.
See you again next week, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, next,
Sure,
Scott.
will do.
Scott, how are you? Where have you been all this time? Can you hear me?
Yes, Ajahn, lovely to see you. It's been very, very long. It's a story in itself. I intend to see you in the next couple of weeks too. I've been in a lot of physical pain in the last 6-7 months. I've required surgery. I've got cervical spondylosis, chronic osteoarthritis. I've had lots of physical injuries in my life, and it was payback. And basically, it all came back. I've meditated to the best of my ability. I couldn't come along on Saturdays and Sundays for the reason being is it wasn't so much I couldn't even be still if I couldn't even stay still. I was in so much pain I couldn't even stay still. I'm coming out the other side of it now. Health is good, but what I did is something I spoke to you about last year about something else. Someone said to me, "Is this the worst pain you've ever been in?" And I went, "No, it's the worst pain I've been in right now." Because the worst pain I've been in before is only a memory. I've had other injuries in the past, and the thing is, like, they're only now a memory. They're almost nostalgic. I can remember the pain I was in, but it's not the same as being in pain. The pain I was in at the time over the last few months was the worst pain I was in now. Now I'm in no pain, so I'm pain-free. I went down a medical route. I did everything I've been shown by people like your good self, and I even done the herbal remedies. I did the ice baths, I did the breath work, I did the meditation. And one day I just screamed and went, "Get me a doctor." And I went to hospital, and I found out that basically I had a problem with a shoulder, neck, I had pinched nerves, locked nerves, tennis elbow, basically. And work was done, medication was provided, which I struggled around because I felt very compromised taking medication. I don't like feeling in altered state, unless it's of a spiritual nature. And then when I finished taking the medication, about 4 months of solid painkillers, I let go of them correctly by the letter with medical advice. And I'm now 4 weeks without any medication, and I'm back swimming every morning, and I'm meditating slowly, 5-10 minutes stopped, and just basically getting back to I'm meeting me again. And now I'm sort of getting there. I'm looking forward to being. My question to you after this little story I've just given you is, when you've been in pain, or if you know people in your particular area who've been in acute pain, how do you continue with what you do when the pain is right now? So, you know, how do you persist, continue with everything when it's overbearing, too much, incessant?
Well, first of all, you want to train your mind not to react to the pain, to just be merely knowing the pain, but without reacting, by not having any desire for the pain to go away. Because when you have this desire for the pain to go away, you are creating more pain in the mind, not in the body, but the pain in the mind, which is become more intolerable than the pain of the body. So once if you can deal with the mental pain, then you will be able to deal with the physical pain. By looking at the truth, if you can do something with it, do it. If you cannot do it, then you just have to rest and just wait for the pain to subside before you can do anything. Which is using common sense.
Common sense isn't always very common.
Yeah. If you cannot do it, then why bother trying to do it, right?
As I said, I used every thing that I've learned over the last however many years until I came to a point of, like, it just needed medical intervention. Once I had a doctor on board, before I even did anything, I relaxed because I felt in good, comfortable, safe hands, if that makes sense. Before I even did anything, the fact I was now being seen by someone in the profession made me go and breathe. Because I was like a corkscrew. I was taught.
I don't quite understand your question here.
You're saying basically the fact is, I sit with the pain. I came to a place where I couldn't, because I'd gone so far. I was overwhelmed with the mental pain, more so than the physical, that it almost needed something outside of me to bring me back, namely the medical profession. I didn't actually need medication, but just knowing a medical professional was there made it all easier, calmer, bring it all back down again.
Yes, by reducing your physical pain can also bring your mind back to normality also. But it's not the real fix. Because when the physical pain comes back again, then your mind can go
Yes.
crazy again.
Yes.
So the way to deal with your mind, you need to use mindfulness and meditation to calm your mind, to teach it to accept the pain of the body. And the goal is not to get rid of the pain of the body, because we cannot do that. The pain of the body is natural thing that come and go. So you just have to teach the mind to learn to accept it when it comes, and try to live with it without having any mental pain arising.
Because I think my struggle is all my pain comes from an instance 30 years ago where I fell out of a fourth floor window. I broke both my shoulders, I broke my ribs, I've got a knee replacement, I've got a prosthetic hip. my shoulder popped out, and I ended up with a scaffold pole, went into my chest. I had a stroke. I was in a coma for 20 days, and I've had about 27 surgeries since to repair me from that one instance. I'm fully fit and I'm flowing, but the thing, when it gets me, the first place I go is I beat myself up for that circumstance that happened so long ago, and like I deserve this karma and all that sort of stuff, which is not the truth, but that's where my head goes. And that's when I think my pain exacerbates and gets worse still, because this was all avoidable if I hadn't done that one thing, which anyone could fall out of a window. In that particular instance, I did. Don't recommend it. I really don't recommend it. But I'm here to tell the tale. So that's what it brings up in me. Every time I get an injury that's linked to do that, I instantly go to, I caused this. So that's very selfish of me. I'm aware of that too. But my head goes with the pain.
Yes, with the practice of meditation, you can decouple your mental pain from your physical pain. You can just leave the physical pain alone and stop your mental pain. And then if you don't have any mental pain, you'll find the physical pain bearable.
Thank you. I'm a work in progress.
Okay. So meditation is not the purpose of getting rid of the physical pain. You cannot, but you can get rid of the mental pain.
I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Watch out. Thank you.
Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye. Next, Diana from Canada. Are you ready to ask any question right now?
I'm listening. And
okay, don't have any question yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Everything you're saying is it's sinking in. I'm soaking it up.
Okay, good. Apply in your practice. Apply when you have pain.
Yes, I was thinking about my migraines and how attached I am on the physical sense. I was observing them, and they did just lift. So that was interesting because I didn't think that they would. But yes, everything is very, very good what you are guiding today. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, call from California.
Hello, Ajahn. No questions today, just listening. Thank you so much.
Okay. Ao Sosim from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tan Ajahn.
Yes. What can I do for you?
Before I join the Zoom meeting, I usually do the Anapanasati. I follow the breath from the nostril to the abdomen. So after listening to Tan Ajah's teachings, now I focus on the tip of my nostril. I feel it's better and get the samadhi faster.
That's right, because the mind doesn't have to do as much work like before.
Then when I sit, the thinking stops. Then the mind becomes still. Then when the one partners, then the mind rests. Is it correct? Rest.
Yes, you have contentment. You feel full. You don't feel you need anything or want anything.
I rest for a long time nowadays because I follow the right method.
That's right. You want to train your mind to be contented, not desiring for anything to make you happy. You can be happy without anything. That's the goal of meditation practice.
This afternoon, I felt unease. Then I went to meditate. Then after meditation, I feel so peace and calm. And calm, peace and calm. Then I was surprised my meditation really works.
Your uneasiness came from your craving or desire for something.
Yeah, because my son has gastric problem and I'm a bit worried over it. That's why I feel unease.
Okay. If you know how to use wisdom, you might not need to meditate. Just accept the truth of your son, that he's sick, he's gonna be sick. There's nothing you can do anything about.
Because
then you can stop your desire for him to get well.
Yes, his work stress caused him to have gastric. Then the his gastric problem cannot solve because of his work stress. That's why that's difficult to settle.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you, Tanjan.
you're welcome. Next, Aparajita from Dubai.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Any question?
No questions. I'm just here listening.
Okay, peaceful and happy?
I feel peaceful occasionally.
No cravings, no desire?
No, that would not be right. I have cravings, I know.
Try to restrain them as much as possible.
Yes.
They are not good for you. They might give you initial happiness, but they make you addicted, and you have to keep having them. And when you cannot get them, then you can become real restless and agitated.
Yes, no, that is very true. Yeah.
So try to stop your craving, your desire. Reduce them by replacing your desire with meditation. When you meditate, you calm the mind down, and your desire also become reduced, and then you feel peaceful and happy.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go to Rohini now. Okay, from London, I think, from England.
Good evening, Ajahn.
How
I
are
have no
you?
questions. Yeah, I have no questions today. I'm just listening,
Okay.
and
Good.
I mainly focus on practicing these days. So
Yeah. Okay. We have no question. That means it's good sign. It's good
yeah,
sign.
just trying to
What you need to do more is practice. Then
yeah,
restful.
practice. Yeah, so it's still
You only ask
mind is
if you don't know how to practice. But once you know how to practice, then there's no need to ask anything.
yeah, at the moment, because just practice on sitting meditation, but still mind is not focused yet. No, so I still have. I'm working on it.
Yeah, it takes time. It's changing a habit. It's not easy. You know, teaching an old dog a new trick is not easy.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Intan from Indonesia. When are you coming to Thailand again?
Good evening, Ajahn. Yeah, next month, Ajahn.
You coming to stay in the monastery?
How are you, Ajahn?
Okay, good. Any question tonight?
Yes. Ajahn, I want to ask about my precept. If I meet my friends in live seafood restaurant, but I'm not ordered the menu. If I eat the food, it means I break the precept.
Which precept you break?
First, the first precept.
Killing? Did you kill somebody? What did you
Stealing?
kill?
If I know
Who did you
the
kill?
restaurant is live seafood, but
Well, if you know it's live seafood and you tell the waiter that you want a fish, then if you know that they're gonna get the live fish and kill it for you, then this is breaking the precept. Unless you can give them special instruction and say, can you give me a dead fish? I don't want a live fish. Don't kill for me. Do you have a fish that is already dead or not?
Okay. So more better I
Better order some
So
vegetable instead.
better
Order
I
some
advise
salad.
to my friends if want to eat together, no better choose another restaurant, not like seafood.
That's right. If you want to avoid risking breaking the first precept.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. Or you can order non-seafood. When you go to the restaurant, you can order non-seafood, like fried eggs or salad or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't order any fish or
Okay.
anything like that.
Yeah. The second question. I think I have a problem with my delusion. Cause I still have how to say, I still have a scare if my progress is too fast. So I don't have a desire for working. I want everything running like my planning. So it is make me confused. I'm until I'm scared to meditate.
Because you're advancing too fast, progressing too fast. So you want to slow down your progress.
Yeah.
Well, you have to think of the others, of the other side, that you might running out of time. You might die tomorrow. So you don't want to slow down your practice. You want to make it as fast as possible before you die, see? And you don't know when you're going to die. The Buddha said sometimes you need to reflect on that to remind of the uncertain nature of your body. So you cannot rely on thinking that your body will exist for another 20 years. So when you think of that, then you don't want to slow down your practice. You want to increase your practice. You want to get to the destination as fast as possible before you die. You're racing against time. Think of it that way. Okay. What's wrong with going too fast, advancing too fast? Nothing wrong, right?
Yes. I just think it's not if it's too fast, so it's not like my planning.
Well, your planning is not something that can set up or dictate what's going to happen. See, planning is just something that you plan, but you cannot expect it to go according to plan. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. So you have to look at the reality. You have to look at the truth, the actual thing. If the actual thing is going good for you, then okay, don't worry about your planning.
So actually, I must
maybe it's your defilement.
my
It's your defilement that doesn't want you to go fast because it doesn't want you to go become a matchy. Your defilement still wants you to live as you are and enjoy sensual pleasures.
For sensual pleasure, I think is no. Because now if I go outside, I just to meet my client or my team just for walking or take my mom to eat. For another time, I'm not go meet my friend or just I cut I can say I cut 90%.
So you have to ask yourself what you're afraid of advancing too fast.
I think the problem is I still have a development. I want balancing between my job and my meditation. I still have attachment. One have be how to say have achievement like before.
Okay, you still attached to the worldly possession.
Yeah, I still have attachment. I want to be achieve everything in my job.
Yeah, but whatever you achieve, one day you're gonna lose it all anyway, right?
Yes.
So why achieve anything at all? It's a waste of time.
So just wasting my time.
Yeah, why try to go after something that you have to give it back eventually? Why don't you go do after something that you can take with you after you die? And that's a spiritual progress that you can take it with you when you die. But the physical worldly achievement, you cannot take anything with you when you die. Okay.
Okay. So I need to change my mind.
Yes, you
So
first have to convince yourself that nothing is better as good as your spiritual advancement.
So Ajahn, when we meditate, so for the first target is every time meditate and can enter samadhi.
Yes. What is your question?
I asked for every time when meditate, our target is can enter the samadhi.
So you can enter into samadhi. What is your question? I'm not sure what is your question is.
I mean, when meditate, I must to have a target for every time meditate, must to enter the samadhi.
Well, that's what you want to do. When you meditate, you want to be successful in your meditation. But it doesn't mean that you'll get it. It depends on your mindfulness. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't get it.
Yeah.
So if you don't get it, don't be disappointed. Just tell yourself that your mindfulness is not strong enough. So you need to be more mindful next time.
Okay. So the problem is I cannot enter the samadhi because the problem is I have a problem with my mindfulness.
Yes. Your mindfulness one come and go, not continuous.
And another question, why sometimes when walking meditation, when I walk, I think like my body is very how to say, like when I walking, but I cannot realize my body.
Don't worry about it. Just concentrate on your mind to stop it from thinking. Focus on your walking.
Okay.
Don't worry about your feeling. Don't pay attention to your feeling. Just pay attention to your body, to your walking, or to your mantra. If you use mantra, just focus, concentrate on your mantra. Bhutto, bhutto, bhutto. Whatever feeling arises, just ignore it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Sarasi from Switzerland. Are you still in Switzerland?
Yes, Ajahn.
Your sister just left. Oh, she's still here. She's watching you.
Yes, Ajahn.
Okay.
I was listening. Happy to see you, Ajahn.
Yes, good to see you too. What can I do for you?
Yes, I have one question. how can a person weaken his attachment to the body during his daily life, daily activities, other than contemplation through meditation? How can we weaken our attachment to the body?
By letting the body be. If it's gonna get sick, let it get sick. If it's gonna, if it's painful, leave it alone. Don't try to do anything to it.
When we do some sort of like cooking or reading or whatever, do we have to always think that this body is it's not permanent, I am going to lose the body, or I mean, like feelings like that, or thoughts?
You can choose the time to contemplate. See, if you have to do working, then you concentrate on what you do on your work. Don't worry about the body contemplation. Body contemplation is only like studying the nature of your body, to remind yourself to not be attached to your body. You can do this at other times. Unless you have the time to contemplate all the time, then just do it. You want to contemplate to the point where you don't forget that the body is impermanent, that you're going to have to lose your body one day, sooner or later. And once you can let go of your attachment, then you don't need to do any more contemplation. Contemplation is to remind you to let go of your attachment to your body.
It's only through contemplation, meditative contemplation, we have to do the impermanence of the body.
Yes, the nature, the three characteristic nature of the body. It is a natural process, the body. It's a process of the four elements. We cannot interfere with this process of birth, aging, sickness, and death. But you also need the practice of meditation to be able for your mind to be able to let go of your attachment. Without the practice of meditation, your mind will still be strongly attached, regardless of how much contemplation you may do. So you need both practices. Practice of meditation to get your mind to calm, to equanimity. And then when you're not meditating, if you have time to remind yourself, just keep reminding that the body is anicca, anatta. It can cause you suffering if you become attached to it. If you don't have to have any suffering, then you just have to let the body be. Let it be. Let it get old, get sick, or die. So you can do this until you can convince your mind to let go. Once you no longer worry about your body, then you don't need to do any more contemplation. When you no longer suffer if the body get old, get sick, or die, then you don't need to do anything with it anymore. It means you have let go of your attachment completely.
Okay.
But if you still attach, if you still worry about your body, then you have to keep reminding yourself the true nature of the body, that it's impermanent. And it's a natural process that you cannot interfere. There's no self in the body. You're not the body. You're just the user of the body. You're the mind who come in possession of this body. But you cannot see the mind because the mind is invisible. So you took the body to be you. The mind took the body to be the mind because the mind doesn't have a body. So when it is using the body, it thought the body is the mind. So the mind thinks whatever happens to the body is happening to the mind. But in fact, it's not. It's only happening to the body. The mind doesn't get old, get sick, or die with the body.
Okay.
The mind is just knowing and thinking, that's all. That's what it does. It knows and it thinks. But it thinks in the wrong way. Thinking that causes it to have suffering. But you teach it to think in a way that will get rid of the suffering. by thinking that the body is temporarily impermanent. The body is a natural phenomena. When you think like this, then your mind can let go of your attachment.
Right.
Okay?
Okay, Ajahn, I have one more question. It's just
Sure, go ahead.
yeah. Ajahn, whenever I see a caged bird or an animal, I feel I'm always getting a very frustrated, very difficult. I cannot explain it. I feel so shocked and bit of a distress feeling whenever I see a caged bird or an animal. Is it due to a bad karma? And also I feel some anger towards the person who is doing it also.
Is your habitual reaction to things. You used to react to things like this before. So when you see the same thing again, you start to react the same way again. So you can call this karma also.
Yeah.
So you can help.
I feel very pity, sorry for the animal, and all unnecessary maybe feelings are coming towards me, which is highly disturbing. And
So you have to
wonder,
develop equanimity and also understanding of the law of karma, that all beings are subjected to the consequence of their own karma. So this bird must have done something bad to other people or other birds or other animals. Now they have to pay the price of what they did in the past. There's nothing you can do or interfere with the law of karma. If you can help the bird, if you can release it from cage, do it. If you cannot, then you just have to say it's their karma. Okay?
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn, very much, and I wish you good health always.
You can lessen your reaction by practicing more mindfulness and meditation. Then when you see anything, you can just be merely seeing instead of reacting like you used to before. And the practice of meditation is a very good practice to solve a lot of your own problems.
Okay.
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 Good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next, we'll go to Nita and Saket from California. Hi, how are you both?
Good evening, Ajahn. Very nice. Thank you so much for the question, for the question answers. They've been wonderful. I have no question, but I think Saket has.
I have two questions, Ajahn. One, I was wondering, sometimes I wake up at an odd hour at night, like maybe 3 a.m. or something like that. And I'm not sure if I should just get up or if I should go back to sleep. And I've set an alarm for 5 a.m., for example. So how to figure out if it's a good idea to wake up or I should sleep 8 hours or something like that? Like, how can I make that decision?
Well, if you're a meditator, you should be thankful when you wake up, because then you would have time to meditate. But if you're not a meditator and you feel you need to sleep so that you have strength to go to work, then you go back to sleep. But if you cannot go to sleep, then maybe you say, maybe this is the time for you to do some meditation instead.
And Ajahn, is it better to sit up and meditate then, or okay, I'll lie down and meditate until I get sleep again? Like, what is it?
It depends on what the result you want. If you want to go back to sleep, then you meditate while lying down. But if you want to meditate without going to sleep, then you have to sit up. Because lying down is a comfortable position, and you will more likely enter into sleep rather than enter into jhana. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. And I had one more question, Ajahn. This is from a friend. He wanted me to ask you this question. He was starting to date somebody, and then yesterday he thought that they'll be going out somewhere, and then suddenly the person told them that now they don't want to be with them anymore. So he sent me a message and said the question, how can I move on from an emotional romantic connection with someone who suddenly changed their mind about the relationship and didn't offer much closure?
Well, there are several ways. If you can contemplate on a super, think of the person when she dies. Would you still want to date her or not if she dies today? Okay, when her body become a corpse, you probably don't want to date her anymore, right? Or you can look at reality and say, this is reality, this is the way it is. You just have to learn to accept reality rather than trying to cling on to your dream of having a good date, which is not real anymore. The reality is there's no date. You're left alone. So just accept the truth, then you will not feel bad. Or the other way you can look at it on the positive side. Maybe she's not fit for you. Maybe there's someone better waiting for you. So then you can look forward to the next date, and you might get the same problem again.
Yeah.
So the best thing is not to have any date. Then there will be any disappointment. Become a monk like me. Okay. These are the solution for him to consider.
Certainly, Ajahn Suchart. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prajna.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Nining from Indonesia.
Yeah, good evening, Tanajan. Tanajan, in Wisdom Develop Samadhi, in the recent YouTube channel, does it mean that we use the fourth foundation backward? Means that we use the contemplation of the Dhamma, and then contemplation of the mind, contemplation of the feeling, and then contemplation of the body? Or still?
No. You use wisdom to solve your problem. When you meditate, your mind keeps thinking of the problem that you are involved with. Like you're gonna lose money, for instance, and you cannot focus on your breathing or on Buddha. So you have to tackle the problem. You want to lose money, but can you stop it from losing or not? Use wisdom to teach you money is impermanent. It comes and goes. It's anatta. It's not always under your control. So if it's gonna go, it's gonna go, regardless of whether you want it to stay or not.
Yeah.
So once you see this, your mind can then let go of your attachment to the money and let it be. Then your mind becomes calm enough to meditate again.
So it means that when practicing wisdom develop samadhi means that we practice vipassana.
No, you only use wisdom to solve your problem, the hindrance that prevent you from meditating. If you worry about your body, you're sick and you're not sure whether you're gonna get cancer or not, and you can keep just worrying about this, and you cannot concentrate on your meditation. So you have to study the nature of your body and say, can you prevent the body from getting sick or not?
No.
Okay. So if it's gonna get sick, what can you do? You cannot stop it. So then you accept, okay, if I'm gonna get sick, let it be. Then your mind can become calm and able to come back and meditate again. So it depends on the problem, which problem you have. So you have to study that problem.
I see. Ajahn, is the Thomas Sullivan who read the Wisdom Develop Samadhi, is he the actor? Because there is actor named Thomas Sullivan.
I don't know. I never met him before. I never heard of him before. I'm sorry.
Oh, And then Ajahn, my father passed away long time ago. And then as a child, I have responsibility to do patidana for my father. So is it enough if I just do patidana every time I do the good deeds, or I need to invite monks to do the ritual and to give some Dhamma desana?
Well, actually, doing merit for the dead is a special case. Like if you dream of the dead people,
Yeah.
you feel that the dead people comes and asks for your help, and you do the dana for them. See. But normally, if they don't come and contact you for help, then there's no need for you to do it.
Oh, I see. Because many times I have vision that my father has already reborn as a human, and I know that human. I mean, I meet the child already.
Okay, so you don't need to do anything once he doesn't come ask for your help, then there's no need to do anything for him. See.
Oh, because we have a tradition every year, we do that kind of patidana in tradition.
Yes, to teach the younger children when they grow up that they should do something for their parents or the grandparents. If they should dream of, if they should meet them in their dreams or something. But people just make it become a tradition and they don't know what they're doing or why are they doing it.
Yeah, yeah. And if I go to Wat Yan and I reach the monastery after the office close, can I still enter the monastery or not?
Well, no one will no one will attend to your need. You can sleep in the sala you want, but they cannot show you the room. No one will tell you where to go. So it's better to go when it's working time for people. Don't go after working hours.
But I think that chanting sala is closed, only open when we do chanting.
Okay, don't go then. Just go when during working hours. If you go late, just go check in a hotel first and come back tomorrow.
Yeah, and then Ajahn, if if we find that somebody do the criminal, is it any responsibility for us to report to the legal officer or not?
Is there a law that says that you have to report or not? There's no law that requires you to report to the police, right? When you see a crime. It's up to you. If you want to do your citizen duty, your good citizen duty, then you might want to report.
But according to Dhamma, is it okay if we just leave them alone?
There's nothing against not doing anything. Ubekha. You're practicing ubekha.
Okay, I see. So it's so I'm not guilty if I just leave them alone and I practice ubekha.
Well, it's not your business, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's enough, Ajahn. Thank you.
You're welcome. Christine Goe from Penang. Excuse me, I've turned on the mic. Go ahead, can you speak? Okay. Go ahead.
To you.
Where have you been?
Still in Penang, and we planning to pay visit to Thailand before ends of Vasa. Then next month I'll be travel to Thailand for many monastery.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Do you have any question tonight?
Yes, Ajahn. Actually, for the first precepts, for killing, example, the person who sell the animal, like example, crab or seafood or anything, So they kill it and we do not order. But after they kill it, they just leave it on the table. Then we buy it. Do we break our precepts?
No, you did not kill or tell somebody to kill for you, then you're not breaking the precept.
Okay, so we still can buy and consume it, correct?
Yeah, but you cannot tell the person, I want 2 crabs tomorrow. Then when they go get the crabs and kill for you, then this you are breaking the precept. If you tell them ahead of time what you want. But they already kill and they just sell it to anybody who wants to buy it, then you're not breaking the precept if you buy the crabs.
Okay, that's all for today. May Ajahn be well and happy.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Sri and Czech from Toronto.
Greetings, Ajahn.
Greetings, Ajahn.
Good morning to you.
Good,
Yeah,
good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Okay.
Mm.
Evening for me, morning for you. We're on the other side of the globe, on the opposite side of the globe.
Opposite side of the
Yeah.
globe. Yeah.
Okay, what can I do for you?
You, Ajahn, I understand that you want us, like during Anapanasati, you want us to focus at one point, right? Like in and out of the breath. But before we can get to that level, like we also have to be aware, right, of the breath, like long, short. Is that what
So you
we
can do
have?
that at the one point, see? Because the breath goes through that one point, right?
Yeah.
Long or short. So you know whether it's long or short. That's all. Just know what it is.
Okay.
So what is the problem?
So, but if it's hard to focus on one point, like, but
It means you don't have enough mindfulness to stay focused. See? So you have to practice mindfulness before you meditate. Practice mindfulness of the body. Keep watching your body movement.
Okay.
Until your mindfulness becomes strong enough, then until you can watch the breath. Then you meditate and use the breath. Watch the breath.
Okay. I think I was thinking of like using the breath to develop mindfulness as well.
Yes, but it's difficult when you're doing something. See? When you're doing something, you have to watch what you're doing. You don't want to watch your breath and then break the glass or do something wrong if you're not watching what you're doing. So you want to watch what you do when you're doing something. But when you're not doing anything, then you watch your breath.
Yes. So if like I just sit down and just trying to watch the breath, like meanings like I'm also trying to develop mindfulness. But the
Well,
object
mindfulness is meditation. See? We just use the word mindfulness. It's mindfulness meditation. But you only get into jhana only when the body is sitting still, not moving. See? When the body is still moving, even if you're practicing meditation, mindfulness, you cannot get it to enter into jhana. That's only the difference. But the practice is the same, being mindful all the time. To still the mind, you first need to still the body first. The body has to be still first. Because it's the mind that tells the body to move around. So the mind is still working. So you cannot stop the mind when it's still working. So you have to stop the mind from working first by putting the body in a sitting position. And the mind can leave the body alone. Then it doesn't have to do anything. Then you can use mindfulness to stop it from thinking. And when it stops thinking, it enters into jhana.
Yes.
Okay. We
Yes.
can talk about it for another 10 years and you'll come to the same position because you're not doing it. You're just asking me, and then when we finish with this meeting, you just forgot what we said already. How far have you gone with the four foundation of mindfulness recitation?
That's why I'm asking. Anapanasati, that part is quite well now.
Okay.
But of course, like going back to what you have taught us. Okay, at one point, but at that one point, we still have to know the breath is long, short.
Well, you have to know you're watching the breath. That's the problem. That's mindfulness, knowing something. That's being mindful. When you don't know anything, that means you go to sleep.
I do know, but it's just like just
Okay.
keep on and then come back.
Some people meditate by just with the neck down and they're not watching anything or knowing anything. Doesn't mean that because they are sleeping, they're not meditating. They think they're meditating, but they're not. They're snoring.
Yeah, that was before I was doing that, but yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'll keep trying.
Practicing, you have to practice. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to do it all day long, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. You can do mindfulness of body all the time. Every time the body moves or do something, just watch it. Don't let your mind go think about other things. Don't let your mind go away to the past or to the future. Bring it back to the present, to the body. Okay.
Yes. Thank you,
And
Tara.
check, you have anything?
What is a trance? Like when people go into trance, is that sleeping or what? Like is that considered sleeping?
I don't know, but I know it depends on how you translate the word trance, I guess. Look up in the dictionary. What does it? Don't ask me, I'm not Oxford, dictionary. Ask Google. What does trance mean? Okay.
Okay, yeah. So this mindfulness is knowing, but
Knowing.
not sleeping. Not
Not
sleeping.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Or dreaming. Or dreaming.
Dream.
Maybe when you say
I would
trance, it
think
means,
it's like,
it means you might enter into a dreamlike state.
yeah, I think might be that. Yeah, I think yeah.
Dreamlike state is also sleeping. You
Oh.
only dream when you sleep, right? Or you daydream also. You might be daydreaming also.
Daydream. Yeah,
Okay.
daydream. Yeah.
It means you're not mindful. That's all. When you're mindful, you're not dreaming. You're not thinking. You're just watching, knowing.
But sometimes our mind can fool us. Like the daydream can be real.
Not sometimes, all the time. The mind fool you all the time.
Yeah.
Who is to think that there is a self in the body, there's a self in the mind. It's constantly fooling you all the time.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. I feel full by it a lot. So we're constantly like daydreaming, like
That's right. So you have to become enlightened. To get out of the dream, you have to be awake. Enlightenment being awake from the dream that the mind has been submerged in.
It's called, that's why the Buddha is called the awakened one. The
Yeah,
Buddha.
the awakened one.
Yeah.
He no longer sleep, and the awakened one. Mentally, but the body physically still go to sleep. But the mind is ever present, ever awake. Okay,
No,
anything else?
Arahant also means awake. Arahant also means awake.
No, Arahant is the pure one, the pure mind.
Mm.
The mind without any defilement is an Arahant.
Mm.
It's another quality of an enlightened person.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
I see. Okay.
Okay, anything else?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Who else hasn't yet spoken? Okay, Gary from Singapore. Hi, Gary.
Good evening, Ajahn. Ajahn, I have a question regarding the anger of feather. For just now, Ajahn mentioned with Sui and Check regarding the Arahant being no longer have any defilements. So how about anger? Anger is for the Arahant, of course, there's no more anger. But how
That's
about Sakadagami, the third stage of enlightenment? Do they still have anger as a feather?
I think you have to practice yourself to find out better.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ajahn. That's all I have for question tonight.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, we'll go to Kunjup now for more questions. Do you have any question, Kunjup?
Namaskaran. We have one question and it is from Facebook. The question is from Pauline Soon. Is it possible and realistic to share and accept merit in Buddhism because we can't see the result for both parties? Can Ajahn please explain more? Thank you.
Share merit?
Is it possible and realistic to share and accept merit in Buddhism because we can't see the result for both parties?
You can only share merit that you make for the departed, the spiritual beings, but you cannot share among human beings. If you want to make fellow human being happy, you give them gift, give them money, give them food or clothing. But you cannot send gift or food or clothing for the departed. So you have to send them merit instead. Like you cannot send me cash directly, but you can send it to bank transfer, for instance. You cannot send it in the mail, send me cash, because I'm in a different country than you are in. It might not be possible. But if I live next door to you, if you want to give me cash, you can just walk over and just give me the cash. So it's the same way with dead people. You cannot give them any happiness. So by giving them food or money or things, so you can only give them merit to make them happy instead.
That is all, Ka.
Okay. Oh, Sulan, you just came in, huh? Sulan.
Yeah, hello Ajahn. Yeah,
Yes.
hope that you are well. Yes.
Yes, what can I do for you?
I just want to share with Ajahn that yeah, your advice last week was very good, and I think it really helps me. Yes.
What did I tell you?
Oh, you said about like don't have expectations. Yeah. Yeah, then just be mindful. Yeah.
Yes, just take things as they come. Win or lose, doesn't matter really. If you don't expect them, then you won't be disappointed if you didn't get it.
Yes, yes.
So if you didn't expect anything, then you can take anything and be happy with whatever you get, even losing or winning.
Yeah, yes. And I also realized that I noticed that when I think in this way, then my views also change. Like then yeah, my views of the person also change. Yeah. Then I realize it's quite dependent on my mood. Then like my views is anicca, my feelings are also anicca.
Yes, everything is uncertain, never reliable. They keep changing. You cannot expect things to be like this or like that. because it might not be what you expect it to be.
Yeah.
So it's better not to expect. Just let things come as they like. Rain or shine, just let it be, right? Let it happen.
Yes.
Come rain or shine. You cannot force the weather. But
Mm.
you cannot force people to do what you want them to do all the time.
Okay. Then the only thing we can take care of is our own mind, right?
Our mind, our own body. Try to do the best you can. Even then, you cannot always control them either. Sometimes they become uncontrollable. Also, can become uncontrollable. Like your body, it sometimes can get sick.
Yes.
And sometimes your mind can become restless or agitated or depressed. You just have to learn to deal with it, live with it, and knowing that they are just temporarily, they are come and go. Everything come and go.
Yes.
Take the good time and take the bad time.
The good time and bad time.
They come and go. Don't be attached to the good time, because when you attach, when they go, you become sad.
Yeah.
Don't have aversion for the bad time, because if you do, when they come, you feel bad also.
Yeah. Okay.
Just use equanimity. Just merely knowing.
Okay. Equanimity. Just merely knowing.
Knowing that things come and go, rise and cease, good and bad. Anicca, anatta, you cannot control them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Understand?
Understand. So it's knowing that everything is anicca, come and go, and it's not so much on like focusing on like knowing that, oh, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way, I'm feeling bad. It's just accepting that it comes and goes.
That's right. Then you don't have to do anything. But if you have expectation and you want your feeling to be like this and like that, when you don't get the feeling that you want, then you try to go after the good feeling. And when you cannot get the good feeling that you want, then you become even more miserable.
Okay. I think I understand better now, because I think in the past, I think I have the perception that, I should focus that, okay, this bad feeling will come and go, this bad feeling will come and go, rather than it's the things itself that's happening will come and go.
Yeah, nothing lasts forever.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can.
All right.
Thank you,
Alvin, did you come back to have any question, or you just happen to just come back to listen? No, I'm talking to Alvin.
And I just come back to listen. Got no question.
Okay. Well, then that's about it for tonight. Okay. Thank you for your company, your participation. I hope this meeting is useful to you and can help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, be mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้า
Thank you, Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Your
admin.
time, Ajahn. Thank you, admin.
Good night, everyone.
Thank
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Kunjuk.
Thank you.